If you are a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this reading is for you. This is a general message, so take what resonates and leave the rest for another Cancer. Okay, I'm going to be doing a Celtic cross spread, so I will just be explaining the placements as I go along, and yeah. Okay, so for your current center energy, you guys have the World. So I'm seeing like in this moment, your like theme of life is probably some sort of change, some sort of like accomplishment, some sort of like ending of a cycle, or like the want to end a cycle, the want to like start something new, the want for like accomplishment. Oh, okay. The want to accomplish something. Like, I feel like in this moment, you just are very much wanting something new and different out of life. There's like a very big need for a fresh start here. But with your crossing energy, which is kind of like, you know, the problem in this situation, I have the Nine of Wands, I'm sorry. The Nine of Wands energy is kind of saying that maybe you're holding on to something from the past. Maybe you're holding on to like a past version of yourself, and that's like why there's this huge need for change. Or maybe there's something that's kind of in your life that's like triggering you to be defensive. Like maybe it's you and someone else, and like you feel like you're kind of being tested in this moment. There's something like definitely testing you. I feel like maybe it's like, sorry, I'm saying like a lot. Maybe you feel as if life is kind of testing you a lot in this moment, or maybe you feel like someone else is testing you, but there's just like you kind of maybe clinging on to like old ways because of this, or you're just having to feel like you have to defend yourself regardless. For your past energy or recent past energy, I have the Eight of Cups in reverse. So that is kind of giving me more of this indication that you are maybe having a problem letting something go. I think that you're holding on to something, specifically when it comes to emotional fulfillment. I feel like maybe you're holding on to something or someone from the past, or you're holding on to just old habits. Because this is like upright, it would be you moving forward to find emotional fulfillment. And since it's in reverse, it's like you're not moving forward from something to find that. And there's like a blockage, and it's either you or someone else, or just like your circumstances in the recent past have not really allowed you to kind of go and find that. For your outcome of that energy, I don't think that that's going to be obviously like a forever thing, because I do see that in the future, there will be fulfillment, there will be emotional fulfillment. Specifically for some of you, I do see that there's maybe a reunion with someone from the past. And if not, there's just like good feelings surrounding your emotional being, your emotional well-being. So it's like, you know, whatever this is in the recent past, if it's still happening, just know that it's not going to be there forever. But it is something that you definitely are having to work through. And I think it's something you're currently still working through, because then your current energy, of like what's on your mind and what your focus is the Chariot. So with the Chariot, I see that you're like trying to overcome obstacles. For a lot of you, I feel like the obstacles is these two guys right here, which can represent like balancing what's within you. Maybe you're just really trying to like get yourself leveled and balanced. That way you can be like your best self when you're appearing in any situation, but specifically emotional situations is what I'm getting. But you're just like not wanting to stop. You're not wanting to let anybody come in your way. You're just kind of really focused on moving forward and moving towards a specific goal, despite the challenges. Because with the Chariot, I do feel like there is some challenges that you're having to overcome in this moment. What you don't see, what the universe can see, but maybe you can't, is the Four of Cups in reverse. So I feel like soon, like part of you working on this is because for a long time, maybe you've been in like this kind of stagnant energy, maybe where like the universe is kind of like handing you opportunities, but you're like, no, I don't want that. Like, I'm just kind of sitting in my own sadness a little bit right now, or like my own, I I don't know, it does kind of feel like a sadness, honestly. It doesn't have to be, you know, you'll know how it applies to you. But for some of you, I do feel like for a minute you've been kind of just in a maybe like depressive time or something. And so like the universe is kind of like, here, like, let me give you these opportunities for fulfillment, but you're just kind of like, no, like, I don't want it. Like, you're just, I don't know, just kind of sitting in your sorrow a little bit. And for others of you, I feel like this is just you being nostalgic about something. That's just like for, like, there's like a group of you who like, there's something from the past that you're really thinking about. But nonetheless, what you don't see is that this is going to come to an end soon. So I feel like this like period of stagnation, or this like kind of feeling of apathy of like nothing's really satisfying me in this moment. I feel like once you, or like part of you going on this journey, and like part of you working out these obstacles and like, you know, all that fun stuff, is going to get rid of this issue. The placement of how you feel about yourself, like how you see yourself in this moment. I have the King of Pentacles. So I'm thinking that in this moment, you are not very watery. Like, I'm sure you are, of course, you're Cancer, like you're still gonna be watery, but I feel like you're kind of tapping into like this very like stable and serious energy. With the King of Pentacles, he's just like very earthy. He's very, like I said, just like stable and just not very emotional. So maybe that's kind of how you're feeling in this moment. Maybe you're just like in a moment where you're like turning your emotions off or something, or you kind of have to step into this just more serious energy. Like, I feel like maybe you want someone specifically to take you serious is something that I'm kind of getting from this. But if not, I just feel like you're really focused on creating stability for yourself. I feel like you feel very stable, financially also. I don't feel like finances are a huge issue in this moment. Even if you're not like filthy rich, like I just feel like it's not your biggest concern, or maybe it is, and that's why you feel stable in that energy because you've been focusing on that. How others see you though, is Four of Pentacles. So I feel like whoever is in your immediate energy right now, I feel like maybe they're seeing you, maybe because of this, they're seeing you as like a little money hungry, or like just very focused on your money. Maybe that's for some of you. It's for like half the pie chart, or like a fourth of the pie chart. For others, maybe others are seeing you as like holding on to things from the past too much. Because this guy right here, he's holding on to something. It's either he's holding on to his finances, and that's just like his main focus is like, I'm not going to spend too much. I'm going to make sure that like I'm holding on to what I have. Or you're like holding on to something from the past, or you're holding on to control of a situation. But I'm getting more that it's like either holding on to something from the past, whether that's a person or a version of you, or arguments, like you're holding things from the past against them, or it's they see you as like money hungry. Sorry, I'm kind of repetitive right now, but yeah. Okay, for your biggest hope / your biggest fear, I have the Five of Wands. So I'm definitely seeing that there is some conflict going on right now, and I kind of feel like it feels like meaningless conflict, and it feels like directionless conflict. Like, it feels like maybe you're fighting with someone, but it's like, what are we fighting about? Or like, why are we doing this? You know, it just doesn't feel like things are making sense. Like, everybody's really chaotic. Everybody's kind of going crazy, but there's not really a real reason. It's just kind of like this really chaotic energy, like I said. So your biggest hope, I would say, is probably that this comes to an end, but it's also your biggest fear in a way that it comes to an end, because I feel like you don't know if once this conflict ends, it's going to be the complete end, or it's going to be like conflict ending because there's going to be change. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. But you don't want that energy anymore. Like, you're trying to move away from that. For the outcome of this situation, I do see the Three of Swords. So I am seeing that there is going to be a little bit of heartbreak. It doesn't have to mean it's like the end just because there is heartbreak in a situation. But I feel like there is things that needs to be addressed, because swords are thoughts and words. So I feel like some of you could be like betrayed, or like, you know, something betrayal, maybe. That's kind of a strong message I'm getting from this. But others of you, I feel like it's just things that need to be addressed and the swords need to be taken out. Just kind of like things that are in your head that you're like, okay, I need to address this and let this go. And then once I do, we can move forward from it. Because I do have, I clarified. So I have the Page of Cups as clarification. So for some of you, I think that this is just clarifying that whoever is causing this is kind of like a young, watery energy. Like they don't have to actually be young. But I feel like their mindset seems very young still. They seem very wishy-washy, like very emotional, but not in a stable way. And for others of you, I feel like, which is kind of sucks that these are the two meanings that I'm getting, but I think that you're gonna know who it's for. Others of you, this is like a new start. So it's like once the heartbreak comes, once things come to a head, then there's going to be an emotional new start for you. So one of the two. All right, let's see. I'm gonna give you some advice from the universe. Where are my cards? Okay, Wheel of Fortune as advice. Just kind of actually more of a reminder than advice that life is like a constant cycle and there's going to be good times and there's going to be bad times. But that, you know, none of it lasts forever. It sucks to think that way, but it's just like the positive side to that is that the bad times are not gonna last forever. So if you're in a cycle right now where you're just kind of like, this isn't really my best season, this isn't really my best time, just know that that's going to go away eventually. But more so, as I was saying that, I'm also kind of getting that with relationships. Like I said, for some of you, this is going to be a new start in a relationship. And so I feel like this is kind of a reminder that like that is part of a relationship. Like it doesn't always feel as beautiful as we want it to feel. And I know because I'm a Pisces and I want it to feel beautiful at all times. So I get it, but that's just not reality. So just remember, if there is a tough time that you're going through right now and you do feel like your partner is super worth it, you know, maybe some of this energy of like needing to let things go from the past is really important so that you guys can have a more positive cycle coming next, if that makes sense. I hope that reached a Cancer who needed to hear it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.